Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps
back
in the race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation,
you guys have a good night, Robert.
That would be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Hey. Yeah.
Just FYI, I wanted to tell you this about Wednesday night too. The way we tell you're ready is because we see you bring the cars up on the track running live.
Right.
So
I was having issues getting the stream up.
Sit there like idiots and watch the commercial booth. Make sense?
Yeah, I had issues getting the stream up, but we're good now.
Oh, no problem. Oh, no problem tonight. I was waiting for like last night too.
Right.
But anyway, I'm taking off for a couple weeks, so I'll see you soon. You guys have fun.
Alrighty. Alrighty, here we go. We're all ready, set to rock and roll here. Sorry there for the brief interruption. We're here with the Pro Late models currently qualifying out there on the Speedway. This is the Regal Wraps and Designs Pro Late models this Thursday night. Thank you, Robert, there for doing the big blocks and the 358 big block modifieds there earlier in the show. Now you're watching the Pro Late models. We get set to rock and roll here from Charlotte. Here you're got Flicker Farm TV's own Adam Flicker here with you in the booth now. Here we go. You're looking at. Oh, wait a minute. Looking there at Trevor Garut now in the number 75T. There you got the 518 of Joseph Grundy out there currently running in second. Isaac Salas there in now up there at the top of the board with a 14.789. Currently, there we go. You got. Yeah, we got him rolling here. Salas out there with a 14.789. And we got Dean Reynolds there with a 14.838. Joe Zagrati with a 14.841. Salas, what a great time there. You got Robert Hill out there on track in the Pro Late models. And that car number 40. Not gonna get the I got him heading out there. Heat number 1 on the grid. That's going to be, come on up here. Matt Barber out there in front. Mike Brewer there in second. Joseph Grundy will start there in third. Isaac Salas there in fourth. Dan McLaren there in fifth with Shane Billings there in sixth. And seventh we got the Clay Christopherson, Robert Hill there in eighth. That is your starting grid here. We get set to rock and roll. Heat number 1, 8 laps. We get things situated here. And see, pace car rolls off. Heat number 1 underway. As they come here out of turn 4, you got one that dropped off of the board there. That would be the 5, Isaac Salas. As they race down here in the corner number 1, side by side, almost 3 wide. They push it there. They are 3 wide up there in the front row. As the 16 there, Matt Barber ends up driving back here in the 3rd. As it's 518 of Joseph Grundy gets out there in front. Down there on the inside right now, going to slide it up there towards the top. Right in front of the 39 there of Mike Brewer. You got Isaac Salas back here in 4th. Here comes that 16 of Matt Barber down there on the inside. Everybody else back here is about single file. Those last 4 spots as they go 2 wide there as Brewer, oh no, and they stack it up coming there off corner number 2. Brewer now falls back into about 4th. Luckily he didn't fall back any farther than that, and now he's up there on the top side. Salas way up there in the fluff as they come down the backstretch. In the corner number 3, now he goes down there to the inside, going to try to gain some momentum there on the 16 of Matt Barber. I've got Joseph Grundy out front leading the way as they work here out of turn 2 down that back straightaway. In the corner number 3 and 4, there goes Isaac Salas down there on the bottom. Working to see if he can get up there in the battle. Can't quite get there. In the corner number 1 and 2. Down there across out of 2 down that backstretch. Head on out here. Great job here coming off the corner. For Joseph Grundy out there in front. Matt Barber there in 2nd. Isaac Salas there 3rd. As you see Salas up there against that outside wall. Trying to find that momentum that he needs to try to get up there to battle with Barber. Barber getting up there now to Grundy. Come there, turn number 1 and 2. Grundy's still your leader for this final lap. So Heat 1 almost in the books. Just 2 more corners. Here comes Barber, going to try to make a last-ditch pass. Can't quite get it pulled off as they come down through the front straightaway. Grundy will be your Heat 1 winner. Here we go now. Let's see what our results will be here in 1 moment. Now, looks like we got a tire rolling down through turn 2. Heat 1 results look like this. Joseph Grundy getting the win. Matt Barber there in 2nd. Isaac Salas there 3rd. Clay Christopherson there 4th. Shane Billings there in 5th. Mike Brewer in 6th. Dan McLaren there in 7th. Robert Hill finishing out there in 8th. Heat number 2. Scott Riom out there in front. William Watson in 2nd. Trevor Rue 3rd. Dean Reynolds 4th. Mike Wheeler there 5th. Chip Berger in 6th. And David Torminski there in 7th. Now, heat number 2, getting ready to go. Jeff Barker disqualified here tonight. In that 5:13. I'm sure exactly why. But Jeff Barker is DQ'd here tonight. On the front stretch, in the corner number 1, you got the 23. William Watson down there on the bottom. Now he slides up there to the top. Here comes Trevor Garou down there in the bottom. Now you got Scott Rione there in third. Dean Reynolds there in fourth. Mike Wheeler in fifth. And David Trubinsky back here in sixth. And as we said, Jeff Parker there is out. Down there through the back stretch here with 6 laps to go. Rione there in second. Watson out in front. Dean Reynolds here in second. Third, rather. And they roll down the front stretch. Trevor Garou up there in fourth. Mike Wheeler now up to fourth. And he gets around Garou. Tormansky back here in sixth. Rolling off back through the backstretch. In through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway comes William Watson, Scott Rione, Dean Reynolds there third. Mike Wheeler fourth. Trevor Garou up there in a fourth. As you all come down through the front straightaway, William Watson out in front. Scott Rione second, Dean Reynolds third, Trevor Garou in fourth with Mike Wheeler back here in fifth. As David Domansky's back here in sixth. Everybody rolling off corner number 4 down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go here in heat number 2. Down here off the back, onto the back stretch. Here comes Rione trying to make another run at it. Up there on the top side. Watson down there through the middle of the track. Now they work there off at 4, down through in the corner number 1 and 2 now. Rione way up there, still up at the top side as they work down the backstretch. What's he going to do? He's going to try to get down there on the bottom. Watson up there at the top side. Not quite enough there for Rione as Watson will take the win here in heat number 2. Your heat number 2 results. They're going to be William Watson out there in front, Scott Rione in second, Dean Reynolds third, Trevor Garou there fourth, Mike Wheeler fifth, David Trubinsky there sixth, Jeff Parker unfortunately DQ'd. We'll be back here after warm-ups.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and led to the spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, here we go. Down through on that front straightaway. We got that grid here. Joseph Grundy starting out there on the pole. William Watson there second. Matt Barber there third. Scott Riome in fourth. Isaac Salas there fifth. Dean Reynolds there sixth. Clay Thompson there seventh. Trevor Garou in eighth. With Shane Billings in ninth. Mike Wheeler in 10th. Mike Brewer in 11th, David Kaminsky there in 12th. 13th tonight, that's going to start Dan McLaren, where Robert Hill in 14th, and that will be your starting grid here tonight. Off the corner, green flag's going to be in the air. Here we go. The 518, Joseph Grundy out front. William Watson in second. Green flag in the air, down and away they go. In the corner, number 1, down there on the bottom side. 3 wide, look out. Look who's making a run. That's the 23. William Watson getting a great run there off the start of the race. Down there through turn 3 and 4, back up there into the front, where he led his heat race. Now he's leading the main right now as they come there out of corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Watson up there on the high side, Grundy down there on the inside. Grundy going to slide it up. Watson going to cross over. Down here in the corner number 1 with the crossover move. Watson slides it up. Now here comes Grundy back down there to the inside. He's going to cross it over down here through turn number 3 and 4. Coming back off, here comes Watson once again. He's going to look under. As you see all the action happening back here towards the back of the pack, middle of the pack. You got that 86 back, or 16 rather, Matt Barber. You're looking there as Scott Riome's coming into the picture there behind Watson. And you got Isaac Salas and Matt Barber working on each other down there. That's position 6th and 5th and 6th. Clay Robson there in 7th. Trevor Garou there, 8th. Yeah, they worked there off the corner. What a night of racing we have here. 25 laps to go here in the main event as everybody's up there against that top shelf. Down through the backstretch. Watson looking to the inside. He's going to try. He's going to get down there. Here comes Riome as well. Riome's trying a little bit lower line. Can't quite get there. What about here in corner number 1? They'll stay up there. 1, 2, 3 up on the top side. As now they work down the backstretch. Watson down there on the bottom as they come through 3 and 4, getting underneath. Grundy can't quite get it to stick. As now he's going to slide back up there behind him. Down here, and here comes Riome looking down there below Watson now. Coming there off of 2. Riome underneath Watson as they come here into 3 and 4. Everybody's working off. Riome trying his best to get that car to pivot the way he needed to try to keep that momentum up. Sliding up the racetrack, has to make sure he checks it up and up to not slide up into the side of Watson. Now we see there's all kind of battle going on back here as well. This is battle for 9th and 10th with Shane Billings there in the 817, Mike Brewer there in the 390. A battle there for 8th and 9th. Robert Hill back here in 10th. Mike Wheeler. Isaac Sal is having issues as he's now out of the race down there in pit road. And worked down there through the corner, not sure. He was running well. We'll take a quick look at it here very quickly as he's driving quick pace here. As you see him there coming through, there you see Isaac Sal's up there on the top side. Problems there coming out of the corner. That just loops around on him down through the infield, and that's not how to enter pit lane. Down here, there you see Rion driving there, battling with Dean Reynolds. As Dean Reynolds gets up there, he's going to cross over down the backstretch. 18 laps to go. Up there at the front, Grundy there in second. Dean Reynolds up there getting into that outside wall, just a touch, coming out of 4. He runs that top shelf down there through turn 2. Now he's going to look underneath Rion just a little bit. Not quite going to take it there as Rion runs through the middle. Reynolds up there towards the top side. You got then Barber right there behind him. They roll through turn 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Reynolds now looking to the bottom again. Going to slide it back up in front of. Oh, a little tight there. He's going to have to get out of it. So Rio ends up falling back here a couple spots. Here comes Barber now. Up there to battle Reynolds. Now they come down in the corner number 3 and 4. Up there to the top, down through the front straightaway in the corner number 1. We got Reynolds up there at the top side. Matt Barber there in 4th. Trevor Garou there 5th as they roll down here in the corner number 3 and 4. The 16 of Matt Barber sitting there 4th. Reynolds in 3rd. Watson in 2nd. Rodney out there in the front. 13 laps to go. Shane Billings is back here in 9th. Brewer back here in 8th. Chris Dobson down there on the inside, up there to the outside wall. And bring it down through turn number 3 and 4 down there along the bottom. Trevor Garou up there towards the top side. Hey, Scott Rio there in the 5th. Matt Barber there in the 4th. $11 laps to go here in the main event of the Thursday Night Thunder Crew Late Models here tonight, brought to you by Regal Wraps and Designs. And you see Clay Christopherson down there on the inside. Scott Rion falling back there to about 6th. And we see Reynolds and Barber going and battling out for 4th spot. Watson trying to get up there to battle with Grundy. 9 laps to go, be 8 laps to go, they come across the line. Great job here by these drivers tonight. I don't think we had any cautions here. We did have that problem with Salas where he ended up down through the infield. I'm not sure what happened to McLaren. McLaren also crashed. He must have had something happen as well. Robert Hill ends up having connection issues, it looks like. 7 laps to go. Dean Reynolds there in 3rd. And they roll there off too. Barber trying to look underneath the Reynolds. And they come there through 3 and 4. Watson still trying to get up there to battle Grundy. We see Trevor Garou up there on the top side. Matt Barber there in 4th. Dean Reynolds there 3rd. They roll it on down through here. Up there to the top side. Grundy up there in the front. William Watson 2nd. Dean Reynolds back here 3rd with Matt Barber 4th. Trevor Garou rolling around in 5th right now as they roll down the backstretch. 4 laps to go here at Charlotte. As you see the 3390. Mike Brewer back here at 8 with Shane Billings back here in 9th. Working there off the corner. Down through the front stretch in the corner number 1. 2 laps to go. Joseph Grundy out there in front. William Watson there 2nd. Dean Reynolds there 3rd. Matt Barber in fourth, Trevor Garou in the fifth. There we go, he's top 5. Final lap for Joseph Grundy as he's out front. Chasing down Mike Wida in that 66, coming there through turn 3 and 4. Wida up there against the top side. Going to stay on the lead lap, but look out, Watson, not enough. As Grundy will get the win here at Charlotte for Thursday Night Thunder Pro League Models, brought to you by Regal Wraps and Designs. And I want to thank Full Throttle Motorsports for bringing us the modifieds prior to the Pro League models. All right, here we go. Let's try to see what we got here for our winners. All right, we got Watson here with Joseph Grundy. We're looking for Dean. Dean Reynolds got third here tonight. We'll go ahead and start with Watson, our second place finisher. Good evening there, Watson. How's it going?
Good, about you?
It's going well. How do you think your race went tonight?
That race was great. Justin ran a great race. He was just more consistent than I was. I could catch him, then I would make a mistake and fall back about a car length and a half and had to run it back down. I don't know if I could have passed him getting up there to him, to the line he was running. But it was a good race. Can't complain about that.
It definitely looked like it was a great race here tonight. Just unfortunately, you didn't have quite enough to get up there to Grundy.
Making mistakes, I probably could have threw a slider, but I don't think it would have stuck. I had the momentum coming out. He would have had me coming out the corner, so he just ran a great race.
Well, I mean, other than you saying you made a couple mistakes, which I didn't think you did. I think it was just a hard-fought race out there tonight. And
oh yeah, there was some mistakes up there in 1 and 2. I was throwing it so hard in the corner, it was sticking. But if I threw it too late, it would jump up over the berm, and the right rear would grab the wall, and I'd have to let out. If I didn't let out, I was in the wall. So.
I mean, you held on to it great. You tried to give it your all. I ended up second. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting that second place podium here tonight?
Yeah, of course. Always teammates at FTM, Sponsor P, Shout, Super Performance, Gripx.com, Dean Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the Wraps, FFTV, Coast to Coast, and you can stuff.
Alrighty, well, congrats again, getting second place. And we'll see how it goes next week as we continue with the Pro League model season.
Yeah, we'll see if I can get a win.
Alrighty. Congrats again on second.
Thank you.
That was William Watson, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Dean Reynolds, our third place. Good evening there, Dean. How's it going?
How you doing, Adam?
Other than feeling slow in the big blocks, I'm doing okay.
Well, like I said, it's just laps, my friend. It's just, I mean, I've been on this thing now for a couple of years, and yet I still feel like I got to get faster too. So it's, you know, a lot of these guys are really good, and you know, it's just you got to just be smooth and keep the wheel straight, and then just not get wheel spin.
Yeah, that's what I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
It's just you'll hit your comfort zone, and then all of a sudden you'll get going. I was horrible in big blocks for a long time, and then all of a sudden it started coming to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel comfortable. It's just I can't compete.
So, but no, I mean, just a lot of good guys here in Coast to Coast. You know, it's it's a good league, and you got 10 or 15 guys that can win each night, and that's what makes it fun. And you get some good races for the fans to watch.
Oh, we most certainly do. And speaking of which, you got third here in the Pro Late models.
Yeah, I didn't have anything for the front two, but I felt comfortable. It's the first time in a Pro Late model I actually felt comfortable for a while because, like I said, these things get so hard to turn. They always want to push on you, but yet tonight I only had one time in 1 and 2 where I let off the gas a little bit and it pushed a little, but I got it off the wall and kept on going. But for Joseph and Bart, nothing. They're just so good, so fast, and we'll take third and we'll take a podium.
You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting third place podium tonight?
Absolutely, the guys at FTM, proud sponsor of the 358 Big Blocks, and pleasure to be on that team with those guys. I'm the elder statesman. I'm the old guy on the team, but they put up with my old self, so I'm happy with that. And Regal Wraps and Designs, Adam, your company there for sponsoring the Pro Late models, so you can broadcast the Pro Late models for everyone to see. And I'd like to say hi to Megan and my dad, and congratulations to Joseph and Bart.
All right, well, congrats again there, Dean, and we'll see you next week on the Thursday night.
All right, brother, you take care.
You too. That was Dean, our third place finisher. Now we'll get with Joseph Grundy. Good evening there, Joseph. How's it going?
What's going on?
Well, you got the win tonight here.
Yeah, got off, didn't start as good as I wanted to, and had that a little harder than I planned. Ended up hitting one of the Uke tires in one of the first couple of laps, and but was able to hold on. I felt a lot better 1 and 2. Didn't feel as comfortable 3 and 4, and I was able to hold on and got the win.
Well, you did a great job out there, and I know Watson was all over you there for a few laps. Just unfortunately not enough to really get a good run to make something happen.
Yeah, these cars are all momentum. You make a little mistake, the guy behind you catches you pretty quick. I don't run Pro Late models that much. I'm more of a super guy, but it was a real fun race.
It was definitely a great race to watch, and you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting that win tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Catalytic Recovery, Raise the Bar, all the guys over at RMDB, Hinkle Homes, Mad Rabbit, Highline Cinematography, my girlfriend Olivia, all the guys at Coast to Coast, and you, man, for doing the broadcast.
All right, well, congrats again, and we'll see you next week on the Thursday Night Thunder.
All right, man, thank you.
All right, that was Joseph Grandi, our winner here tonight. I want to thank everybody coming out to the Coast to Coast Racing Network here on YouTube to watch, along with anybody that might catch the show over there at Flicker Farm TV. Thank you all for watching, and everybody have a great and wonderful night. As we will sign off here. Thank you all for watching. Oh, before I forget, we didn't go over our results, did we? Let's go ahead and finish up that. When there you see them, Joseph Grandi getting your win, William Watson in second, Dean Reynolds third, Matt Barber there in fourth, Trevor Guru there fifth, Scott Riome in sixth, Clay Christopherson seventh, Mike Brewer in eighth, Shane Billings there in ninth, 10th going to be Robert Hill, 11th going to go to Mike Wida, with Dan Kaminsky there in 12th, Dan McLaren in 13th, and Isaac Salas wraps out your field in 14th. That'll do it there for us tonight. Thank you again all for coming out, watching. Can't wait to see what the next races look like. Again, thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a great and wonderful night.